I personally feel like the uniqueness of your idea, especially in the world of technology, is a real minimal factor on whether or not you're gonna be successful in the market. I think branding,
Totally.
distribution, trust, authority, that's what's gonna make a difference, and so keep the core fairly transparent, and you want to improve it. So why would you protect it and really make it worse by hiding it in a cave that nobody can touch?
Totally. And two, those things that also improve your business. One of them is confidence. Henry, how do you deal with self doubt? I've been this week in particular, I'm writing a book about entrepreneurship and kind of all these wackadoo radical ways of thinking about it differently that we talk about on this podcast. And in that process, which I think is the largest undertaking I've ever done, I've been feeling a lot of doubt in my own intelligence and whether or not people care about what I'm saying or interested even at all. And it's very reminiscent to me of last episode. We were talking a lot about burnout and kind of these feelings of, does anything I work on actually matter? Have you ever felt that way? How do you deal with these feelings?
Of course, man. All the time, it's very isolating when you're working on a project by yourself and you're not getting the positive feedback. I can only imagine working on something that's creative and long form like a book. You don't really wanna you don't wanna tell people about it until it's finished, and so it can be lonely to build that, and I think definitely self-doubt creeps in. I've been thinking a lot and admiring leaders in business that can keep a team motivated for long-term
Mm,
projects. I just find that to be an absolute superpower, whether you're individual working on a project or on a team or managing a team. I just think that is really
yeah.
challenging because initially you have the hype and enthusiasm. I'm writing a book, I'm building a business,
Hmm.
I'm designing a car. But those are multi-month at best, multi-year
Right.
projects, and it just 6 months in, how are you gonna stay excited enough and confident enough to see it through? I really view it as a superpower. I don't wanna cut to the chase, but to really get into the meat of it, some people got it, some people
Hmm.
don't. I don't know if there's really some best practices on how do you stay in the thick of it and push through a long-term project happily and
Yeah.
healthily. I just think it's hard, it's a struggle, and I feel the pain, but I don't know if there's a cure to this
Yeah,
pain
exactly.
necessarily.
One of the things that I've been thinking about is that I honestly feel like I was better about ignoring doubt, I'd say, not so much dealing with self-doubt, but ignoring it when I was younger. Like, I think particularly in the first 2 years of running Lumastic, the company that I ran out of college, I I think was so myopic, and that helped me so much in thinking that just this has to work, right? I just am exuding this optimism that I've got what it takes. I can handle the downs. I can deal with all of these problems that arise and things that I don't know about. You just have this almost blind confidence in yourself. And
And why not
yeah,
me?
and why
You know,
not
I'm
me and all this
geographically the
stuff.
biggest, why not me?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
now as I think I've got older, I feel like I'm on almost the other side of what people call the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect being like if you think of a graph of what you actually know and what you think you know, right? Actually know can be very low, think you know can be very high, right? And like these over time, as you learn stuff, you realize that you're not as smart as you thought you were. I think particularly doing research for this book has made me feel that way, where there's so much information and so many things that people have thought about that are, you know, assenting or dissenting, like things that I'm talking about. And these people have more credentials and all that stuff. And so, am I contributing anything? Is like a big feeling that constantly crosses my mind. And I think that's so similar to how probably a lot of older or like second time founders might also feel is you now know how hard it's going to be. You know what the ups and downs feel like. In some ways, that provides you with a sense of solace when it's happening, but it also provides you with a lot of doubt before you start or while you're in it. that it's ever gonna work out.
And I would say dread.
Dread, yeah.
Like, starting a new podcast, oh my gosh, the first one took a year to get off the ground. I don't know if I wanna go through that
Mhm. Here
again.
you are, Henry.
Like that and here I am. But that's a real feeling,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Of like, now that I know more, I know the bad stuff.
Exactly, and I know how it
So,
felt.
how do you
I know how
persist?
it felt to
Yeah.
fail, and I don't wanna feel that again, and so I'd
Yeah.
rather just, in some ways, quit